Now let's get down to some serious questions on the program today. The corrupt cop, Mueller, is trying to drag Trump before him to get him to testify. I highly recommend the following, and I'll say it now and I'll repeat it throughout the show. I'll ask you, should Trump testify before Mueller or take the Fifth Amendment? I am very clear, Trump should not testify. And if his lawyers let him testify, they're having him walk into a guillotine. And he's going to have his head cut off. There's no way he can win. Mueller's done this game 10,000 times. He knows how to entrap people. And they're not going to get him on the original investigation because there's no there. We all found that out through the fake FBI investigation, through the leaked emails, but there's no Woodward and Bernstein anymore. We never needed them, and we don't need them now. But the fact of the matter is, if you look at how the FBI works in these things, once they get you on the stand, they will start asking you questions for 8 to 12 hours, and what they'll get you on is perjury, obstruction of justice, false statements to the FBI, perjury to the grand jury, perjury to the grand jury. That's what they're going to do to Trump. Remember Scooter Libby? He was found guilty of 4 or 5 counts of perjury, lying to the FBI and obstructing an investigation into the leak of a CIA operative's identity. Libby guilty on nothing. They didn't find him guilty on the first charge. Here is what I recommend for Donald Trump. His lawyers will not tell him this. I pray that someone in the inner circle near Trump who is monitoring the show for the president, and I know they're monitoring the show. I know he gets the shows like in a small report. He's too busy to listen to the radio show, I would guess, in Washington, unless sometime he tunes it in on a podcast, which tens of thousands of people do every day on this show, free of charge, by the way. I would say this, Mr. President, you're not obligated to put your neck in a noose. You're not obligated to stand with your head in a guillotine. You know they're out to destroy you. You have a protection. It's called the Fifth Amendment. Hillary's people did it over and over again. You get up there and you smile and you say, the Fifth Amendment protects both the innocent and the guilty. I am 100% innocent, and I hereby refuse to testify on the grounds that I may incriminate myself, and keep saying that. And let Mueller go fry himself somewhere, because that's what will work. It's worked before. It can work again. Fifth Amendment, as you well know, creates rights relevant to both criminal and civil legal proceedings. It guarantees the right to a grand jury, forbids double jeopardy, protects against self-incrimination. 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 Amendment 5, Fifth Amendment. Fifth Amendment, no person shall be held to answer for a capital or otherwise infamous crime, unless on a presentment or indictment of a grand jury, except in cases arising in the land or naval forces or in the militia, when in actual service in time of war or public danger, nor shall any person be subject for the same offense to be twice put in jeopardy of life or limb, nor shall be compelled in any criminal case to be a witness against himself, nor be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor shall private property be taken for public use without just compensation. Brilliantly written. And the clauses incorporated within the Fifth Amendment outline basic constitutional limits on police procedure, and that includes Robert Mueller's procedures. The framers of the Constitution derived the grand jury's clause and the due process clause from the Magna Carta, dating back to 1215. This amendment was adopted in 1791 as part of the first 10 amendments known as the Bill of Rights. That's for those of you who don't even know what we're talking about. Trump has no obligation to hang himself in public. They will crucify him if he goes before Mueller. There is only one way out, and that's to rely upon the protections of the Constitution to not incriminate himself. And I'll repeat it again because I hope this gets to the president before it's too late. Get up there, smile at the American people, and say to them, the Fifth Amendment protects both the innocent and the guilty. I am 100% innocent. I hereby invoke the Fifth Amendment so I shall not incriminate myself, and keep saying it over and over again until Mueller's tongue sticks to the roof of his mouth. That is the only solution to this problem. There is no other. Because they will have him on the stand for 8 to 12 hours. They'll get him in a twist and a bind. They'll get him to contradict himself. And then they'll hang him on his own contradictions. This is what snakes with law degrees specialize in, which is why the legal profession is the most hated profession in America, next to the fake news media. You think lawyers are loved? They're seen as the serpents that they are. with all due respects to my lawyers, who are the best in the world. The fact of the matter is no one that I know likes lawyers. They hate them. And they hate them for good reason, is because we don't trust them. We all need them because we live in a litigious society that's out of control. That's a topic for another day. We're talking about this topic, which I just read to you. Should Trump testify before Mueller or take the Fifth Amendment as I just recommended? Here is the second question.